frame looks like right now. Corners all done nicely. My younger brother has done excellent with it. And he's going to make some brackets now where we can just bolt it in place instead of welding to be able to get it all in the van. So now he's going to get ready to start cutting out some metal pieces to make the brackets that he needs for this to go in there. And he needs to make more brackets for once it goes in place, so that way he can bolt it to the floor. He likes to go a little bit overboard with everything. We just wanted something simple, but I'm not complaining. It's starting to look really good, and I think it's going to work out really well in our favor, giving us a lot more space up underneath the bed. Okay, we've got the frame in here making the last measurements. Get ready to check to see how level it is, make sure everything is correct. We got the fourth leg, which is over in that corner there. We got to measure it off to make sure that it's actually fitted just right, because it goes down into the step side there. Other than that, once we get these measurements, get everything else cut, then the last step is to paint it, get it back in here, bolt it all in place, and we will have us a actual bed frame as our support for our bed from now on, with a lot more room going up underneath. We will have leg braces in the center to support our weight, and there will be some supports over on the wheel welds on both sides to support our weight, and that should have us good. My brother has finished up the welding on everything, and now we are waiting on paint to dry on the legs here. And we got the frame over here on this side here. It's already got the first coat on the back side of it, and as soon as this hair dries just a little bit more, we're gonna flip this over, go in and get the top side underneath it all taken care of as well with a coat. And if we need to do more than that, we will flip it back over, hit the other side, let it dry, and we should be able to get all of this in probably today. At least that's what I am hoping for. But as we're waiting on this to dry now, and once that's done, then we can start getting everything in place, move the mattress out of the van, so that way we can put the frame in there, or have to make a run to Lowe's, because we'll have to get a couple 3/4 pieces of plywood to go onto this, and we should be able to lay our mattress across there, and we'll have our new bed. We are finally to the final stages of getting the bed frame in here. I've already drilled all the holes that I needed to put the legs in the four corners in place, and I've just tightened down all the legs themselves, tighten them all the way down as much as I can get them. So now it's just finishing it up with the plywood to go across the top. Then I can get the mattress back in here, and then we can actually start putting all this good space. Sorry, to good use. And it gives us quite a bit of extra room from front to back. Before, with the old bench seat bed, I was only able to go to just a little bit right here beside the wheel well. Now this gives us a lot more space, and I can get things in here much easier and actually slide things out even from the back if I need to. So this will be much better. It's starting to get there. I've got one half of the plywood already in place. using a 3/4 oak, which I will say that a 4x8 sheet is not cheap, but we had to go with 2 of them just to get the job done, and I think it'll give us a whole lot extra support than any pressed particle board ever will, and it also make it smell a lot better in here. All I've got to do now is get the other sheet cut exactly to size, slide it in place, and then I've got to tighten down the bolts down in the corners of the legs, which in order for me to get that taken care of, I will have to crawl up underneath the van and get each one done. And so far all I've got is 1 bolt in each leg because that's all I had. So after everything else is done and these are here tightened down, when we go back out, I will go to I think it is Tractor Supply, and they got a big assortment of bolts, nuts, washers, anything that you would ever need, and at a really good price too. So I will get the last bolts that I need to go in these corners, and that will finish up bolting this in place and having it really sturdy, so that way we don't have to worry about it ever again. Okay, the van is almost back together like it needs to be. We've only got a couple of little things that we need to fix on the bottom here. My brother is making a little piece of wood to go right up underneath the edge of this, so that way it's not wobbling. And he's going to make another piece for that middle bracket right there, so that way it's actually solid. That way we're not bowing in at any point. We made one for this corner here to level it off, and I've got it in place. And once we get those done, I am thinking that everything is going to be done, and I'll be able to start using all of this space from up underneath to go on and get our things back in here, and we'll have it all lined up nice and neat. We'll actually have access to this 3rd window here, and that'll make it really nice, and hopefully that I shouldn't have to worry about much of anything else. But I will show you the rest of this here once I get it all complete. That way you can see what it all looks like. And the framing of the bed itself, this right here was either a king or a queen size bed frame that we picked up from Goodwill, and it only cost us $7, I think it was, for a complete sit-up. It had the frame all the way around, and the legs for the center support where it could fold out and actually connect. But what my brother did was took it all apart, cut the little rivets off of it, and started cutting everything down to size for what we needed. He measured everything, he welded everything back together. It took a little bit of time, a little bit more than we were expecting, but he did an excellent job on it, and I think we're going to be really happy with this. We will have this probably tested tonight for when we get ready to lay on it for a bid, and we'll let you know how it actually feels. Okay, here goes the ending of our build that we were working on, and this is what it all looks like. We have managed to open up quite a bit more space up underneath for us, where I'm able to turn the toolboxes long way now, which opened up a lot more space for us to get everything in. I managed to get my camera back here now instead of in our main sitting area. I don't usually need it most times, and if I do, I can get access to it from the front. Got all the jack stands back here now. We got a couple stacks of books that we picked up along the way for Amanda to read. Everything is fitting nicely. The bed is super solid, and we don't even feel one another even turn over, no matter which way we're flipping, and that makes that really nice. And we haven't had no issues with anything. I've got the front. I'll walk around there and show you what that looks like. Got the bins back in here. Got it stacked up again like we've had it before. Just made more sense. We got the water cooler now inside. Before we were using it as a bed brace to keep us from not flexing so much. Now we can actually keep it inside. The grill is up underneath, along with several other things. And our clothes bins that we had are now other random stuff out of the drawers, because we realized that we can actually use the two bottom bins here to stick our clothes in, and it works out nicely like that. So we were able to shove more underneath the bed that we're not always getting into. Everything else is nicely tucked away. The solar panels are behind the seat. Real nice, keeps it straight, so that is good. Got a place where we can actually have the curtain tucked for when we're driving. And the last thing that is getting ready to be coming in here is this space here. We're going to have this completely cleared out, and our cooler fridge is going to be placed back in right in between the seats, and we'll be ready to go.